Hi everyone, I am trying this on my iPad now, so we'll see how that goes. Hi, we are going to continue reading on chapter 5 about ancient Greece, and we are in the middle of lesson 2. We just read about Sparta, and now we're going to read about Athens, the city-state of Athens, a young democracy. Another great city-state was Athens. It was located northeast of Sparta, about a 2-day trip away. Athens was founded by the descendants of the Mycenaeans and differed from Sparta in its ideas about society and government. Athenian education. Athenians received an education far different from that of the Spartans. Athens educated its males, as Sparta did. In Athenian schools, boys studied subjects such as arithmetic, geometry, drawing, music, and public speaking. They also participated in sports. The Athenians believed that this type of education produced young people with strong minds and bodies. At age 18, when boys finished school, they were expected to take an active role in public affairs. Athenian mothers educated their daughters at home. Girls were taught spinning, weaving, and other household duties. In some wealthy families, they learned to read, write, and play music. Women were expected to marry and care for their children. For the most part, women were not active in business or government in Athens. Early reforms. The history of Athens was much like that of other Greek city-states. By about 600 BCE, most Athenian farmers owed money to the nobles. Some farmers were forced to sell themselves into slavery to repay their debts. Athenians began to rebel. Farmers called for an end to all debts. They also asked the land be distributed to the poor. To avoid an uprising, the nobles agreed to make some changes. They turned to a respected merchant named Solon for leadership. In 594 BCE, Solon ended the farmers' debts and freed those who were enslaved. He also opened the assembly and the law courts to all male citizens. The assembly was responsible for passing laws written by a council of 400 wealthy citizens. The common people praised Solon's reforms. Still, many Athenians were unhappy. Wealthy people felt Solon had gone too far, while the poor people thought he had not gone far enough. By the time Solon left office, he had lost much of his support. In 560 BCE, a tyrant named Pisistratus took over the government. A relative of Solon, Pisistratus, made reforms that went even further than those that Solon had made. Pisistratus divided large estates among farmers who had no land. He provided loans to help farmers buy equipment to work their farms, and he gave citizenship to Athenians who did not own land. He also hired the poor to construct temples and other public work. And since religion was important in Athens, Pisistratus built additional shrines to different gods. He encouraged the worship of the goddess Athena. Under Pisistratus, festivals held to honor Athena were expanded by the addition of athletic contests. Man, could Pisistratus be in this paragraph more? Here's a little thing about Solon. He lived from 630 to 560 BCE. He was the great reformer. He was the son of well-to-do family, but he did not live the life of a rich Greek. Solon was a poet and a lawmaker. His goal was to find agreement between nobles and farmers who needed to be able to work together. He improved the economy by requiring all sons to contribute to the same job their fathers had. That's interesting. Let me say that again. I said contribute and I meant to say continue. He improved the economy by requiring that all sons continue the same job as their father. So whatever your dad does for a living, so do you. He promoted trade with farmers and rewrote the Athenian Constitution. Date of this scripture that I just read is unknown. Okay. Toward democracy. After the death of Pisistratus, a noble named Cleisthenes became the next leader of Athens. Prizing democracy, Cleisthenes made the assembly the city-state's major governing body. As before, all male citizens could participate in the assembly and vote on laws, and the assembly members could now discuss issues freely. They could hear legal cases, and they could appoint army officers. Cleisthenes also created a new council of 500 citizens, and they were to help the assembly manage daily government affairs. The council introduced laws and controlled the treasury. They also managed relations with other city-states. Each year, Athenian citizens held a lottery to choose the council members. A lottery. Athenians preferred the lottery system over an election. In their view, an election might be unfairly favored to the rich, who were well known. Terms on the council were limited to 1 year, and no one could serve on a council more than 2 terms. Thus, every citizen had a chance to be a council member. While Cleisthenes' reforms made the government of Athens more democratic, many residents were still excluded from the political process. People who were not citizens still could not participate in government. This group included all Athenian women, foreign-born men, and enslaved people. So all those people, women, foreign-born men, and enslaved people, don't get a say. There's a little blurb here, though, about the Olympics. You heard I mention athletic events. The Olympics. The ancient Olympic Games were held every 4 years at Olympia, which was on our map, in the western part of Greece. In honor of the god Zeus, the first Olympics were organized in 776 BCE. According to one legend, the founder of the games was the hero Hercules. The modern Olympics began in 1896 CE in Athens, Greece. Today, athletes compete in the Summer Olympics every 4 years and Winter Olympics every 4 years. The Summer and Winter Olympics are staggered so that an Olympics is held roughly every 2 years. And this time, it'll be 5 years since the last Summer Olympics, because we're going to do it in 2021. What a connection to Athens, though. I think we'll hear more about that. All right. So that's the end of Lesson 2 on Sparta and Athens. Both city-states were on our map we did of ancient Greece. So I'll see you next time, and we will read Lesson 3 together. See ya!